of just joshing, 581, something like that. And I've hit a pretty big milestone here. I'm literally a month away from 600 episodes. My guest, the one and only Specks Thompson. And Specs, you just completed a Kickstarter from what you told me off the air. So what happened? How'd it go?
It went pretty good. It went better than I expected. It's my first successful one. I did this is my third crowd running attempt. First I did Indiegogo where I broke even. I didn't make my goal, but like money wise, and I broke even. But this is the first one that Kickstarter that I met my goal and succeeded my goal as well. And it felt great to have it done, but it was definitely stressful when I was doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, do you prefer Indiegogo or Kickstarter?
See, I don't know as of right now. Right now, I see the only difference so far is I lost like $700, right, from people like canceling their pledge. But like Indiegogo, they post the money right then and there. So I probably would have, made more money off of Indiegogo, possibly. I don't know. Then the time rise where they disputed the money. I think Indiegogo was pretty quick. I think it was like the next 2 or 3 days they gave me the money, where Kickstarter is like 14 days. So, I mean, if I was greedy and needed money, I guess Indiegogo, but Kickstarter, it's pretty good. I mean, people are more accustomed to it than it's like, I guess, like a Walmart, a Target type of thing. It's preference.
So let's do it kind of from this point of view then. Just so your first. I don't want to bring about bad memories or anything like that.
It's good.
But I just kind of want to bring this up like this, just on the basis of we're talking about the fact that this is your second. You said second or third campaign.
Third campaign.
Okay, so what was the difference? Like, what did you learn from the first what did the first campaign teach you? Because obviously, when you do these things, there's no guarantees, but very often I think preparation is a big part of what makes crowdfunding work. So,
the first one was basically just family and friends. Like, just basically me, just going through my inboxes of people from Facebook and Instagram, just going like, hey. Then like a week later going, hey, repeat the process. And I think I got like 50 people on Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
Second attempt was a Kickstarter. It flopped. I got like 7 people. So like third one was 85 people. I say less than 10 people was like family and friends. Everybody else is somebody that I did have no idea who backed me, or people from the indie community. So like, yeah, that's a huge difference. And so like, I could have reached out to people like family and friends, but I assume like if they wanted to do it, because they see me post all the time, they would have did it anyway. Like some did. I didn't really want to nag them. Maybe if I was like far from my goal, I probably would put in the inbox and be like, hey, can you help me out? But I chose not to, so I could have had more backers. But I made my goal. I've been trying to be greedy. It was just a milestone for me to hit my goal. I mean, everything else was a bonus. But what taught me though was like difference. What I did is like I said, first one I worked just family and friends, and it went through everybody's inbox. But the third one, I did a pre-launch page. I did shows, blogs, all that stuff, and it that's the main difference. I market myself differently than I did the first time. First time I thought I could just put it out, people go for it. And I tried that same method second time, and it flopped. So I had to rework and learn and get some better steps.
So I guess it's safe to say like marketing was not something you took to right away, because did it make you uncomfortable to do it? Talking like, hey, my book is awesome, or was it just like?
Well, marketing was not uncomfortable because I went to school for marketing, so it wasn't uncomfortable for me to do. It was a fact like I felt like I was begging for money. You feel me? Like I felt like I was like, hey, give me some money for this book I know nothing about. Besides these pictures I've been showing you. Versus now, it's basically still the same thing, but I got 3 books, and people see me doing shows and talking about it, like, and then I kept going. Like I got T-shirts, posters. I got my books in 2 or 3 stores right now. So like people see me as
cool,
doing stuff. Yeah, so like
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's the difference, but it's still a book on characters they have no idea who they are. But now they see, oh, it might be something because he's moving, like he's making something happen.
So first off, Demolition Man, high five. Yoing, 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 yoing. Right. First off, Demolition Man, high five. That's really cool. Second though part to this though, something I just feel like just want to say it sounds to me like there was you had to let go of your pride a little bit, like because it was like, oh man, I don't want to talk about, like, it's because it's awkward, right? Because you're like, I feel like a tool, I'm asking for money for this because I have to, and it sucks. I should just like be able to roll this out and it's magic, but that's not how life works. You have to actually go out and do it. But it sounds to me like when you went to the third time, like you were like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I worked my ass off on this book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go all in. I'm going to see what happens when I actually put a full effort and I just say, I believe in my stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the big difference? Like you found your confidence with it a little bit more?
It wasn't more that I found my confidence. More than I probably did. Because, I'm pretty proud of my book. As now, people actually like it who has read it. But I say what's different, I changed my perception. Because I'm in the music industry. So, like, when we marketing these artists, we call it like a radio run. We go to different cities and go take them to the radio and pass out their projects and see if the record will work or not. So I took that in the same effect as the comic book industry. Like I'm going to these different shows, doing different things, pitching my book to get this market. Like somebody who watches your show or your fan base is different from the last show I did. So I'm pitching that book and I'm getting reactions. People like what I'm saying in interviews and going to support my book and this and that third. So that's how I had changed it. Said, okay, I have a product and I am my product. I am my brand. So I gotta pitch that. Just not that I have a book. I need somebody to buy this book. I give them the money because people gonna buy the book. They just gotta know about the book. So I'm not telling anybody about the book. I'm just saying, hey, I create a comic book. Here you go. I'm not explaining it, putting my backstory behind it. A little passion behind it. I guess I wasn't doing it before. Now I'm showing passion and people, just believing in it.
Well, I've mentioned this a few times on my show. My favorite marketer of all time is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not going to go through the spiel again because I've done this already ad nauseum on a few other episodes. But I think the big thing that writers and creators in general have to recognize is that the book is how people support you. The true product is you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are Specks Thompson, artist / entrepreneur. And you got to treat yourself like that in the whole process, whether it's Kickstarter, whether you're meeting somebody at the boardroom, or whether, it doesn't matter. What your book is how people can help you. But ultimately what you're offering on some level is yourself.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So sounds like you cracked the code with the third one, the third.
Yeah, most definitely I have.
Yes.
I say that for sure because I almost was 200% funded. If I didn't lose that money, I could have got it. But like I definitely able to get the third book funded, and I got some money to start off on the fourth one, which I was going to keep going with my series anyway. But my main goal was not for me to pay for this book out of my pocket.
Well, yeah, well, that's just it, right? You recognize the fact that what you're trying to do is you've created a product, but what you really get, what you're doing is this is how people can support you. What you're doing. like I'm contemplating like doing a crowd. Like I don't do comics yet. Kind of sort of just kind of doing. I do prose and I do other things as well. And I am dabbling in illustration. I'm almost good. Don't tell anybody. I'm almost good. Right? Don't tell anybody. Shh.
I'll keep it secret.
But yeah, keep a secret. Yeah, so I figured you'd dig that, right? But the thing is, when I decided, like when I do crowdfunding, I'm going to be like, hey everybody, I got this amazing book because this is me. I worked my ass off on it and I believe in it and it is the absolute shit. And if you get this book, you will get cool shit for me, right? I might do something like random, like prank calling anybody in North America because I am that kind of guy. I'll just say, who do you want me to prank call? And I'll just prank call because I'm just that kind of guy. But at the end of the day, more than the prizes, I have a product I believe in. And I believe in myself, or else I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Crowdfunding is ultimately, I think, an exercise in that belief in oneself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel that way too? I mean, you've done this, and you've done it more than I have at this point. So.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, because you're funding something like, I mean, in mine, I offer. You say you're doing the prank call thing, but I offer other things as well. It's just like, hey, you get this book, and you get some other free stuff as well. So I mean, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So okay, so you said you did music first.
Yeah, I was in the music industry. I am, but not as much, I guess.
Not as much as you. So what were you? Like, if you don't mind my asking, like, what were you doing there?
First I started out as a DJ.
Okay.
Then I went to school for marketing. Then I started getting hired to do different things for different labels or events or artists wise, like marketing, them like starting a marketing campaign, like putting the posters, the flyers, the mixtapes, all t-shirts, all that stuff together, how to give it to the people and it's for the artists get seen and become a brand themselves. Like last thing I did was a tour with Live Nation with like 4 or 5 different artists, and one artist I had I was with, I did all his merchandise. So every city we had to go to, I had to put posters outside, the event, then set up the table with all the t-shirts and the stickers and the flyers, albums, all that stuff, and do it. And it was crazy because that shirt, we go to Walmart, whatever, we say that shirt's in Walmart, it'd probably be $10. But since you're on the road, you say it's $50, and the people will spend whatever. It could be a size small shirt or extra large. They can pay that price because they're a fan and they just want the product. So I definitely took that incorporation of my book. Like, they're a fan, they're gonna support it regardless.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is with a concert, right? There's an experience aspect too. Like, I'm going to a concert to have a good time. I'm going to vent the theme. I'm going to watch my favorite performer put on a hell of a show that only they can do. That's a big part of that. So when I'm buying the T-shirt, the album, the whatever, it's a reflection of that experience. That's what you want to do. And that's just part of the whole experience. Part of it makes concerts fun. But I've noticed this interesting little trend because you're not the first person from the music industry that has gotten into comics.
Yeah.
So, what is it about you? Like, I'm going to ask this: did you ever go into work with be in a band at any point in your career in music, or did you just DJing?
A band, no. Mostly just what the single artist, either like a singer or a rapper, more than less. But I was never the front man of the group. I was always behind the scenes type of guy. That make somebody else look great. Yeah.
You were the director. It's like, okay, go here, do this, do this.
Yeah. More. Yeah. So like coming into this, I thought my idea of my comic, because my comic has music elements into it, I thought it was gonna be a niche market, just something, that the comic book industry didn't have, because as a reader, I'm reading DC, Marvel, and stuff like that. I don't see that now. Since I'm 3 years in doing this, I'm starting to see them pop up now. Like a lot of it's rock and roll, heavy metal type elements, But so I haven't really read none of them. I got a couple of them coming to mail for Kickstarter, so I can tell you more about it. We have a show a couple months from now.
Sure.
But the hip hop ones that I don't glance through or just read up on, they have music based powers. They're superhero comic books with music based powers or music based names or something like that. And to me, I think it's corny. Like it just.
Oh, come on.
But mine, his powers is superhero comic book as well. But his powers in music industry has nothing to do with him being a superhero. The music industry part of the book is just his job, something he does like as a regular human person. But his powers and his real life is totally different. So you get like the superhero dark elements in being a view. Then as Chaz, you get the high school in the studio music stuff and that they don't really cross paths like combine wise, but they do cross paths story wise and tell the story. But other than that, you won't see him doing like a sound based powers or singing based powers, nothing like that. Or have a guitar that shoots lightning bolts out of it, anything like that.
Come on, man. I was secretly hoping you were going to do like a remake of Michael Jackson's video game. Where you actually are moonwalking and like singing and you like fighting with his music.
But that was cool. That was cool though. That was the 80s and 90s. That was cool.
It was fun because the vibe of it was really fun. It was a fun game. It really was. Yeah. I mean, it was a little silly, but because it's a game, it's like whatever. We'll just go with it, right? You can make it work. Like I think you can honestly make anything work. Although,
I mean, I don't knock it. It could be fun, but I just thought the concept was corny, just to push the envelope like that. Like Dazzler, the X-Men. Like I like her character, but she's not like just doing it like she's the. I don't know who created her. I think Chris Claremont.
Probably Claremont. It's one of that era. It's from that era for sure.
Yeah, he was like, I want somebody music based to be in here, and here you go. he just did the character, and she has to be a performer. It has nothing to do with music wise. So I appreciate that better than I'm gonna do something music based and they got music powers. They just I don't know. It just sounded cliche to me, I guess.
Well, sometimes cliches are work. It's all in the story you want to tell, right? Like for you. So what were your superheroes growing up? Like who were the guys you or gals that you digged?
Superheroes growing up, definitely Spider-Man, Wolverine, Gambit, Batman, stuff like that. Like I guess the street level type of characters. I like Green Lantern too. I like Kyle Rayner, but mostly just like the street level ones, the ones that I guess make sense. Like I never really cared for Superman. Like I maybe like Superboy, the one with it's a clone.
Yeah.
I probably like him, but like Superman as a character or anybody like Superman, like I just.
So so Spider-Man and Kyle Rayner are similar in the sense that they're both coming of age heroes, right? That's what they both are. Like in terms of the story structures of them. Right, Kyle is very much the every guy. He just locked into his ring, and now he's just getting exposed to all this crazy stuff that he'd never seen before. And that was like the appeal for that character for about 6-7 years, and that's why that worked for a very long time. Spider-Man has always been that way. Like it doesn't matter if it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, or Spider-Gwen. It doesn't really matter. The appeal of Spider-Man is. It's a hero's journey, and it's usually it's a family story of some kind.
Yeah,
and that's what makes Spider-Man really cool. Gambit's one of my personal favorite. He's just such a dick in a good way. Like he's just a fun character. Wolverine is he's easy to sympathize with. That's the thing about Wolverine. Like as much as people like saying, he's a tough guy, it's like that's not what makes him interesting. What makes him interesting is he's a man with a lot of holes in his past, and he wants answers. And he wants to know where he came from and why he was made the way he was. When you break him right down, that's what he is. And that's a character. We all can relate to that. We all kind of wonder where we're coming from and where we're going to go from here. It's a very human, honest feeling when you look at that, right? So, yes, a friend of mine that's on there is like, cliche can be good used as a so-called norm. It's like, yeah, I mean, cliches can work, or even formulas can work. It's all in the story you want to tell.
Like evil Superman, that's the cliche people use it now. It's just like
Yeah.
within the last year, I think we had what 3 or 4 evil Supermans pop up in media. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the evil Superman concept's been around since the early '90s. I mean, the first example of that was, well, he wasn't technically evil. It was a character called Supreme by Rob Liefeld. He created this character. What does Superman have? An ego, like his ego was bigger than his powers. That's Supreme.
So how was he compared to Homelander?
Homelander's a monster compared. Supreme is not, I would say, a good person. Well, Rob Liefeld's version, when Alan Moore wrote him, Alan Moore probably made Supreme super, super, super fun. And it was really just about, like, you know, they actually, Alan Moore secretly made a Silver Age Superman comic in the modern era. Superman's at his best, in my opinion, when he's fun. Like, you don't take him too seriously, because he's a kid's wish. I mean, that's what Superman is. Like, he's like, what's a hero in the point of view kid? Like, what's the most awesomest hero you can make? And a kid will just imagine, like, super strength, super speed, bullets bounce off him.
Oh, Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam, right? Same thing, right? Same thing. Right? Shazam. Like basically a kid's wish come to life, right? Yeah. So why fight that? Don't fight that, man. Don't fight that. Just go with it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, so just you know, just make it so that, you know, it's a fun character. That's what Superman's supposed to be. He's not supposed to be, or if he is somewhat serious, I like actually Superman as a dad. I think Superman as a dad is actually a natural fit for him. So either make him a dad or make him silly. And
now, when you say make dad Superman, are you talking about the current comic book Superman?
Yeah. Like the fact that they actually gave Jonathan Kent, they gave him a son. That it's going through some of the same. I mean, I think Superman, that's a really good role for him. Of all the characters in DC, he's actually probably the best dad. So why not just make him a dad? It's actually a really good use of him, right? And so why not just work with it? If you're going to treat him a little more seriously, right? Now he's in the footsteps of his parents, Mom, Pa, Ken. Now he's raising the next generation, and now he's looking, it's like, holy shit, did I make a bunch of mistakes when I was with this kid? And which is normal for every parent. And I don't know if a single good parent that looks at their kid and go, I did it all right. No, I just did the best I could. And that's always a really, like, that's a good story, right? And that's why you do Superman. With with Batman, you can do anything. With Spider-Man, you can do anything. With Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern especially, you can do anything. Although you could also do a lot of the same stuff with John Stewart. But all of which to say is, you know, like superheroes like Superman are notoriously difficult to do. It's easier to make them a bad guy than a good guy, because why wouldn't you be? Like, you can do anything you want. I mean, if that's real, if you can do absolutely anything you want, why wouldn't you take over? Right?
Yeah, I just watched I listened to a podcast earlier just about that. It was like, you know, why it's always Superman becoming evil, because he's the strongest, you know. It doesn't make sense with Batman, who's a regular human, to go, you know, evil, you know. He's just taken out quick.
Yeah, well, Batman could be. You can make Batman evil too, like Batman.
Well, I just say him a level ago. You know, he had no powers. He was a regular person.
Oh, he's much more like the thing about Batman with the way they make him today, like I'm an old comic geek, so just bear with me here for a second. So Grant Morrison wrote him as like one of the smartest, most tactical characters in Justice League way back in the late '90s, and everybody has copied that pretty much since. The caveat to that is Batman's always prepared. But with someone that's always like has a countermeasure for everybody around him, I mean, that dude isn't necessarily a good guy to begin with. It's like, wow, I gotta think of the worst case scenario for everybody around me, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking depressing.
Yes.
You sit there doing that. So he would be a good bad boy, but he's also like, there's a certain point of it's not believable because it's bad. I mean, he's a human being at the end of the day. There's only so much he can do. Yeah, he can be formal, he can surprise, he can do all kinds of things. But the truth is, at the end of the day, he's just a human being. He's not going to stop Superman. He's not going to stop Wonder Woman. He's not going to stop any of those guys. The best you can hope for someone like that is to slow them down. And even then, probably not for too long. Because again, restraint, right? And this is me just being a comic book geek here for a second. I hope you forgive me. But like you can make any character evil. But I think the real question is, what's the story you're telling? You know what I mean? Like, why? Okay, Superman's evil. Why? Right?
Yeah. Batman's
evil. Why? Like, what's the story you're telling? Homelander, I read The Boys way back when it was a comic. Like, dude's a freaking monster. He's the ultimate hypocrite and all that other wonderful fun stuff too. But he's interesting because this is like, he's the reflection, like Superman's always like the American dream, right? So what makes Homelander such a compelling character is he's the end result of the American dream. All the corporatism, sponsorships, the privilege of being so elite and not in kind of living in your own world. And on top of that, no one can stop him anyway.
Yeah.
So you create, like, that makes sense, right? And you create something to deal with him, and people like him. That totally makes sense. But but The Boys is a very nasty world. It's not a superhero world, really. It's just it's more like a science fiction story, actually. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It does. It does. You know, I like it because, well, I haven't read the book. You know, I keep up with the show, and it just, you know, to me, it's probably how it would really be if superheroes was real. They would be the people in the movies and the celebrities.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. The show and the book do divert quite a little bit at some point. Like season 1 is pretty close to the book. I don't know about season 2 because I haven't watched season 2.
Yeah, I don't think the season two isn't because the whole kid and mom thing.
Yep.
And something else was different, but yeah. It's starting to drift off, so you won't know what's coming next.
But that's a good thing, right? Like want, like, it's the television show does, like, the concept has a lot of legs and go a lot of different directions. Cool thing about The Boys, though, most people don't know this, is that originally it was going to be the DC characters in those roles. Because it was originally published by an imprint of DC Comics, and the creator Garth Ennis wanted to use actual real superheroes in those roles. So that would have been Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, and they all would have been the bad guys. And it would have been like, that would have been so cool. But yeah, I can't blame. On the other hand, I can't blame DC. It's their properties, right? They're not going to let Batman be that kind of monster.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
But let's see here. So you're big into those characters. You read it like. So for your background, then, do you came from music? So music to superheroes. So what was the appeal to make the leap? Like the actual appeal. Like what was it? Like you grew up reading these characters, you wanted to do something with them. Because there's a lot of people in the music industry. I've noticed over in bands and stuff like that. They have crossed over into comics, and they've all done very well. What's your origin story? Why did you make that leap?
Well, like first, like The View came from something I used to do in high school. You know, like a regular kid. You know, you write stories. To immerse yourself in that world. So like The View, and one of his friends were X-Men characters. They was like the class after like Jubilee or whatever. So he started as an X-Men character, with traits of like Gambit mixed with Forge. So that was like his niche. So I was in high school. That's like what, maybe 18 years ago. So like 2018, talking to my fiance about what I used to do back in high school. She said maybe I should try to get back to drawing and writing, to and maybe try to sell my story to DC and Marvel. And I was like, okay, cool. After doing some research, I discovered that wouldn't be the best route to do, to go my own route, because DC Marvel, I try to pitch them the story and they might just steal it and run it themselves without giving me any kind of credit. So basically, I started doing little things, doing Inktober, and people liked what I was doing and gave me a little bit of confidence to start drawing my own stuff. Then I discovered, my stuff ain't that great, so I have to hire an artist to do it. Artist named Yusef, who does the book for me now. But other than that, that's what took me steps to do it, and I basically took the same concept of how he was X-Men and mixed with some other stuff. Like I came up with a story. So if he went from being based like Gambit and Forge to being based like Casey Jones and Kyle Rayner. So it's different. And instead of making him like a hero that wants to be a hero and whatnot, he's a reluctant hero. He doesn't want to be a hero, and which was makes him the draw for most people, because it's believable that a high school teenager don't want to risk their life with somebody they don't know. They just want to be a regular kid. So people like that part of my story.
No, so you like the reluctant hero. Those are some of my favorites, because my favorite thing is just to put them in the middle of trouble anyway. It's like no matter what they do, it's like you gotta do something. You're stuck here. It's like
like the best part of my story. It won't come no time soon. It's gonna be later on, like the final battle type thing in my story. He's sitting there watching TV in the classroom, like a big battle's going on, and he can, in the classroom, the teacher put it on TV so you can keep for the news, whatever, like CNN or something, what's going on. And every time he's like, maybe I should step out of the room and go help. Then another superhero come in and say, okay, they got it. Then they get killed. And he's like, okay, maybe I should go help. And another superhero come. He's like, okay, they got it. They get killed. It is a cycle like that, and eventually he be like.
So you like it? So you're a big fan of. So I'm going to ask a personal question then, my friend. I'm going to see what your answer is here.
Okay.
Fate and destiny. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, pretty much. I believe you can change it, but majority, if it don't happen now, it will happen eventually later on. So I mean, if let's say you post a, get burnt by this flame right here, you can be like, okay, I'm not gonna stick my hand in this fire right now, but like like Final Destination, like that movie, like it's gonna come back around. You might not be this fire, but this flame you will get burnt by. So I mean, yeah, I guess I believe in it. You can change it, but either something lesser effect or a greater effect will happen.
All right, so let's go one step further. Like, do you believe? So, I love what Scott Schneider says about like destiny and fate. Like fate, and another word for fate is doom, which is like the Greek tragedy version of fate. It's like you are fated to go down this path, whatever that is, or destiny. Like, do you believe that there's a higher purpose to people, and sometimes it's about choosing to fulfill that higher purpose? Mm-hmm. Because, I feel like they're not quite the same thing. Like I feel like there are like you. I kind of feel there are moments in our life that are going to happen no matter what. Everything has, I think, a time and a place. But I also think like all of us have this ability. Like we all have these like gifts and dreams and possibilities inside us. And the question is, do we have the courage to explore those things? Yeah. It sounds like your comic seems more about that than the former. Right, he's a superhero, but he's a reluctant one. Well, reluctant ones don't necessarily want to use those gifts that are given, mm-hmm. Right? So that's why I'm kind of asking, like, how much of you is in that story in that regard?
I mean, I never thought about it like that, but like, I have been asking that question. How much of me is in that story, and like, if that was me, I would try to explore my powers. I'd be like, boost the goal. I try to have T-shirt. Action figures and all kind of stuff, trying to, market myself and make money off of it. That's how I'll be if I have powers. I got these powers. Watch me be a hero. I market myself and want to be out there because just like Booster Gold did, you know, the same, probably the same exact way. But I wouldn't be like, no, I want to do it because I know I have something that somebody else doesn't have. That, you know, I can make money and make a better life for me and people around me. So yeah, I would definitely use it or do it, whatever it is. You know?
But I also just look at the fact that you're a guy that made a career in marketing, sales, music,
Mm-hmm.
and you've kind of taken a leap of faith into this comic book world. I think that's a damn cool thing. I think that's a hell of a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm at, you have these stories you believe in enough to tell them. So I just kind of like I have a belief that personally that every story I tell, whatever they are, there's a piece of me in there. Like it's not necessarily the base story of what we tell has been told before a zillion times. What makes it unique is, see, I cannot tell a story like Specks Thompson because Specks Thompson has his own unique perspective on how the world works. And I can't duplicate that, right? You've been through your own experiences, you've been through your own struggles, your ups, your downs, and they come out in your story in the best kind of ways, right? And I think when people make a leap into any art form, there is that romantic in us that wants to find and discover more. And I almost feel like your superhero book, there's one of the themes because you're playing with this reluctant hero type, is like that willingness to embrace your destiny, right? And that's a very powerful thing, and it's a scary thing because of the expectations that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it definitely does. It is. I mean, yeah. But by you saying and breaking it down like that, you actually give my story a different meaning that it's already incorporated in there, but you just gave it a little bit more meaning to it because I have a lot of puns in my story. Like the title of the book is called "A Legacy of the View." So so whatever he does, it's gonna leave a legacy. So so not to spoil too much, but it just the legacy. Why is that a legacy and not a legend or something like that? So yeah, it's just a play on words throughout the whole book. Like this story art right now is called The Pilot, which is my first 4 issues. So it's the pilot issues, and he's fighting a pilot, stuff like that.
So then when we get to, so you have an ending for the story then? Like, do you have like a full like ending thought about like if tomorrow you had to end it? I'm not saying you have to end it tomorrow, but let's say tomorrow you're like, oh shit, I got to wrap this up. Could you? Like, do you know where it goes?
I mean, I want to say it was a limited series, like how I have it outlined out, because I have 25 issues written already, and I got like 100 planned. But like the 25 issues are ready to go. Like I can give it to Yusef right now, and he'll draw it. But the rest of it, still got to write up. And
you got 100 issues in your you got 100 issue master plan.
Yes, but it's however I do it, I can stop it. I just a lot of that stuff is fluff, but I know the beginning and middle of my story. So like it's definitely gonna be end. But like, let's say I got everything done in the next 10 years. I get a big boom and I do all 100 in 10 years. It's, just to throw it out there.
Sure.
If people like it, I can do spin-offs to it. So I have it set up that way. I can break off the future aspect of the story. But the last issue, it can be a definite end to the story. Like, okay, boom, that happened, ended. But like, it can be added on if it needs to be after that point.
So you're plotting to build an empire, my friend. You're thinking big.
I mean, because I just had so much. Like, like I already have 2 spin-off stories, being made from the View. I got like a prequel type story that has to do with one of his mentors, and a side story has to do with one of his classmates. Just I was able to do it, and I can see it being incorporated because just his classmate in the View. The classmate story is more like a manga type story, so I can get them readers, you know, they like manga stories versus American comics, and then, you know, reviews for people like American comics, you know, but stuff like that. Like I just did it so I can bring everybody in to read these stories. You know, they might not like American comics, but after reading the other stories called Boots, after reading Boots, they might want to say, okay, what happened before? Why these things are brought up in this story, but it's never talked about? And they can go read the View and say, oh, okay, that's why they said this, that, and third. So it's kind of like how Jonathan Hickman doing with X-Men right now. You know, something might happen in Excalibur. They talk about in the Marauders. So somebody might go back to the, you know, Excalibur to read, you know.
You just talked about the two books I wish I still was reading. Like I actually am not that crazy about the whole Uber X-Men arc. I'm not crazy about it, but Marauders was super fun.
I like Marauders. I've been reading X-Men since the Dawn of X. I've been trying to keep it every point. I probably haven't read some of the New Mutants because the New Mutant storyline, the artwork kind of threw me off. But all the rest of them, I don't read basically. I just finished X of Swords, so I'm going to the next story arc now.
Yeah.
But Marauders, like 2 issues that, you know, I read and I really enjoyed it. And I went to the store and bought those 2 issues just to have personally because I actually enjoyed the story. And I never really did it to a comic book. Like I bought comic book, you know, I have them, but I never read a book online. Then I decided to go to the store and actually find it and buy it because I read that book. That's the first time I did.
Yeah, Marauders is very fun. I like my favorite of those runs was Excalibur. Excalibur is just silly goodness. Teeny did a really good job with that book, and it's just fun. Like it's got kind of like the King Arthur stuff. It's got Rogue, Gambit. It's got
Jubilee.
Psylocke. It's got who's now Captain Britain. The old Psylocke, like Becky's now Captain Britain. It's such a cool it's in its own little world, and I love that it's in its own little world. So when the pandemic hit, I couldn't take every book with me. So I went with Ninja Turtles over Marauders and Excalibur. I'm a Ninja Turtle guy. That's just me. I don't regret that. But if I could have, I would have at least taken Excalibur with me because Excalibur was just silly goodness. I really enjoyed it. But like I said, like the rest of it, I wasn't so crazy about because there's something that I like having a story that I can just get in and get out of and not like have like this giant universe around it. Right? Meta story's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't have one.
But see with that, you didn't like I can't think of the name right now. It just slipped my mind. But Dr. Sinister, his team with Psylocke, Havoc. Who else on that team?
Cable?
No, that's X-Force. No, it's like the Misfits, the people that.
Yeah, no. There was a 6-issue miniseries with the other Psylocke that I read too.
No, I can't think of the name. But it's an old.
Fallen Angels.
No, that's the one with Psylocke you just talked about. It's another. She's in another one. She's the leader of this group I'm speaking of. I can't. Well, they function as a Suicide Squad type of characters of X-Men. And it's hilarious because they all try to kill each other. What's the name of the?
I don't know. I'm not like.
Man, if Dr. Sinister, oh man, I can't think.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
That book is great. That I never cared for Dr. Sinister or nothing about him, but the way they got it set up, like it just band of misfits and they're all trying to kill each other, but Psylocke has to get them all together to do a task. It's pretty funny. It's like so it's Psylocke, the Asian one. It's Havoc. There's like a Wolverine type character. He's like real skinny, real feral type of guy.
Honey Badger, or X-23. Which one?
Neither one to know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then it's a guy. He used to be part of another group. I can't think, but he's his body's more mechanical. He carries a big gun. He got long black hair. Oh man, it makes me mad. I can't think of the name. Hellions, the Hellions.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm ready it, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's the name of the book. That's the book, the Hellions. That's the name of the series.
I haven't seen it. Like,
then they got a guy who can change people's emotions on it, and he's playing with their emotions. They got a big robot guy. It's kind of like he's an Iron Man character without the energy beams. Apparently he was a kid that got kidnapped, and he just in the suit to keep his powers there. But he got a nanny. Well, that's named the thing. Another robot that keeps check on his nanny, and he's like a mama and nanny. A kid and nanny type experience with them, and really they like murder bots. So it's like it's a crazy. It's very. I never read Suicide Squad. I've seen the movie, but if X-Men had one, it's that and it's great. Like, I recommend it.
You're a big X-Men fan.
Yeah,
you're a big X-Men guy.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with it. I mean, like the TV show dragged me in there. Then I got hit. Then once the TV show got ended, I got hit in the movies. So like, I mean, besides Spider-Man, I say I would be more of an X-Men fan because I guess more characters for you to relate.
I'm going to say you're a bigger X-Men fan. Do you want to know why?
Why is that?
Because you were so enthusiastic talking about the book. Like
it's a story. Like I like Jonathan Hickman. Like, he's a great writer. Like I first read him. I don't know, it was a Fantastic Four or during the whole X-Men.
Fantastic Four, he did that, yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but I learned that in his whole X-Men run, he like brought me back in because I wasn't reading X-Men. But the Donna X thing, how just brought me in, and I'm reading so far. But I say I like Spider-Man, but I basically haven't read Spider-Man since issue 800.
No, like I said, dude, listen, we all love different things. I'm a Green Lantern guy. Like, that's who I am. I'm a big Green Lantern guy. But I mean, right now for me, it's Green Lantern and Ninja Turtles. The last Marvel book that had me really excited was Immortal Hulk. I really dug. Like, that's a cool take on the Hulk. I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
But when the pandemic happened, I was only able to keep a handful of books.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, my choices were the Ninja Turtles and Green Lantern. Those are the two I still read. I read a couple other ones here and there, but by and large, I just keep it that way so I can actually do Kickstarter stuff. Right.
Okay.
So Kickstarter is requires me being mature and shit, and the only way I'm right.
Yeah.
So, but that's what's got me personally excited about the runs and the book, and we all have these runs we're excited about. Like, I'm not feeling it quite the same way right now, but where I get excited is I get to meet creators like you who are trying so many different things right now, and I think it's actually I think the comic renaissance right now is on Kickstarter, is on Indiegogo, because there's so many books right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that are just really good, that could be in a comic shop. I mean, hey, look at you, man. You got your book into like 3 shops, which is pretty freaking cool. And you're not. You're going to become the trend, I think, for the next 4 or 5 years, because no one wants to deal with Diamond the way they dealt with Diamond anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's changing, and they're looking to fill that void. Not you.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity for you. So, but anyway, so I'm going to ask this before, and we'll come towards the end of the interview here, coming towards the end here. But so as an artist, because you're a DJ, so question, singer or rapper, which one do you prefer doing if you had to choose?
Singer.
Okay. See, I would sing, but then you would just give me $5 to stop. Right?
Right.
Well, for $5, yeah, but just one time. The second time, you would get just tape, and it's like no. $5, you tried. Here you go, right?
Yeah.
But you're a singer, you became a rapper, you became a marketer, you're a comic writer. As an artist, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a writer? Do you see yourself as a salesman? Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? Do you see yourself as a musician? Like, when you look in the mirror, who are you?
I just call myself the creator.
All right.
Because I do write. Like for this point on, I am the writer, and I have an artist doing it. But if my talent was better, I would be drawing. So, but everything so far I have made, I'm very particular on my stuff. So what I tell him to draw is basically my vision. He just put it on paper. So he's not doing too much his own thinking or own creation of these characters or what's going on. So I just call myself the creator because I'm basically creating what y'all seeing.
So I made this offer for 2 months from now. You want to draw on my show with me on 2 months?
Sure, because I'm getting ready to start, just drawing, just to get familiar with it. So 2 months and I'd be ready to go. I ain't too shabby right now. I can draw something.
No, it totally like. But I usually do at the end of the weeks on Fridays. It won't be this month so much, but next month I'll start this up again. Mm-hmm. Is drink and draws, right? I invite artists to come and we just draw. Like here, like I'll draw stuff like here. I'll show you here. Give me a second. Here, just pick something at random. Like stuff like this.
Okay.
Right. I don't pretend I'm great or anything like that. I'm learning. I'm just getting better at doing what I'm doing. But that's really not the point. The point is just we come out, we just doodle, we have fun, we BS each other a little bit, and we just have a fun little conversation again, just with drawings. I'll show you my favorite one, but then I'll hold on a second here. I'm just looking for it. I'll show you. I'll do that one. My favorite of the Marvel characters I've drawn is I love Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is like my favorite. He's one of my favorite bad guys of like all time because he's so obnoxious and yet he's serious. And I think that's great. So
if a random war broke out between Liberia and Black Adam's place, who would win?
Black Panther or Liberia?
Not Black Panther. Black Adam.
Ooh. All things being, assuming Doctor Doom and Black Adam cancel each other out. Let's just assume they just cancel each other out. There are things Doom does that Black Adam's in a class by himself, but Doctor Doom is very, very smart on top of being very capable. So let's assume they just cancel each other out. Liberia wins. I think Liberia can't keep it. I think what happens is much like historically speaking, people have come in and taken over any of the Middle East. They've never been able to keep it. Usually bad things happen to those that try to take the place and keep it. And that's what I think would happen to Liberia. Liberia would be like, I win! And then they're like, oh God, we won.
Yeah.
We're stuck here. So it's the first chance you get to just run out. So no, never again, never ever again. It'd be like a one-time deal. That's how I see that going. That's totally how I see that going.
Okay.
But I love Doctor Doom just based on the fact that he's a very powerful, smart, but yet he's still got enough of like that pulp cheese to talk to him about himself in the third person.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it every time I see him.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're a creator. You draw. You want to draw better. I want to draw better too. So, what's your favorite drawing? What's your favorite thing to draw?
I don't know. The easiest thing to me to draw so far was like just anime characters.
Anime's fun.
They're easier to draw, like comic book characters. I mean, people have been pretty easy too, but comic book characters, I feel like they're harder to draw because everyone's different. So my Peter Parker might be different from your Peter Parker, different from somebody else's Peter Parker. So
Oh, totally.
What makes my Peter Parker look like Peter Parker? What gives him like his Peter Parker look besides the camera?
Yeah, I'll show you one more here. This is my link. This is my link.
Your link, oh man.
Obnoxious boots and all, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing about drawing, right? I like anime to draw too because anime is so expressive. Like there's an expressive, and it's just unrealistic enough. It's realistic enough that people recognize what it is, but it's a style so elastic that people can just kind of do with it, right? And that's the part that really makes me go, that's a really cool style. Like I'm a big anime guy. I love Full Metal Alchemist. I love Code Geass. I love Steins Gate. I love Fairy Tail. I mean, they're all just super fun shows, and I love their styles. I mean, and just look what the impact they've had worldwide. There's something to be said about something that seems incredibly simple, but telling really good stories doing it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite?
Anime?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Hunter x Hunter. I said
right.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. That's my favorite one so far. I recommend that anybody. And after that, Akame got killed.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter I've seen, but the other one I have not.
Yeah, Akame got killed. Yeah, that's about some assassins. Assassin group said they try to like I guess turn the tide against this group, and it's just a great story. You know, it's a just a couple episodes, probably less than 50, but it tells a story, makes the point, and then brings it right on home. And everybody has their own character. You know, all different powers of anime in there. Got the girl with the big guns. You got the ninja girl. You got the guy with the strong suit. You got all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great. It's on Hulu. You know, you can check it out. It's the got dub and sub version. I recommend it.
Yeah. All right. So 2 last questions, and then we'll get to the plugging of stuff right now.
Okay.
First one. I might just add on to what I asked earlier, but you'd be like, what kind of creator you've seen yourself? How does your music inform your writing? How does your writing inform your music? How does your drawing inform both? Because I feel like they're like different languages.
Well, in my story, you know, I incorporated music, like I said, so I'm putting different aspects of my life in the book. So like Chaz, that's the main character of Legacy of the View, he's a musical engineer. For people who don't know about that, that's the guy who's in the studio actually pressing record button and making everything sound good, and that's like the behind the scenes thing. And like I said before, you know, that was me behind the scenes making these artists, you know, right and marketable and stuff like that. So I made him that point, because some people think a producer does all that, but a producer just makes the beat. It's somebody else, the musical engineer, who has to press record, makes everything mix and master in the studio. So that's why I chose to make Chaz that instead of something like a rapper or something like that.
Fair enough. So, so doing all this, everything you've done to this point, what's the biggest thing you've learned?
Just to be consistent, you know, just keep doing it. Don't stop, because people forget. So like, let's say when my Kickstarter flopped the first time, you know, if I just stopped doing it and stopped promoting, and then came up with this one I just did, people wouldn't know. But I kept talking about my book, I wasn't doing the shows and stuff like I am doing, but I was still posting and putting artwork up. Still, you know, everybody see me here and there, and I see people in these innate creator groups that they drop a book today on Kickstarter, they get funded or don't get funded or whatever, and you won't see nothing from them for like 5-6 months, and they pop back out. Then like, where y'all been at? We don't know. Or the algorithm on these social media sites will hide them away because they have been active. So I mean, I see it. So stay consistent. You know, it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally concur with that. Well, my friend, it was definitely nice to actually meet you, right? And definitely a little bit of get inside your head. I'm gonna be so in a couple months we do this again. You can get me caught up on all the X-Men stuff. We're gonna do that. All right. I'll try to probably hook you on other comics just because I think there's some good ones out there for you. And
Cool.
yeah, we'll do a little friendly exchange like that. But actually, one last question, and then we get to the plugs. You just finished your campaign. How did you celebrate?
Well, actually, we did it today. She took me to no, it was yesterday. She took me to a restaurant called Bonefish Grill. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it. I haven't been there.
Yeah, to me it's expensive. Like, I don't think I know it's for people have they go there on prom and stuff like that. So, I never been because my prom day sucked. So like we didn't go no bonefish or anything like that. But she took me there for the first time and it was pretty good. I mean, I got some mahi. I never ate that before. It's pretty good piece of fish. She did that for me for complete my goal and actually succeeded and having people actually support my project.
Your fiance sounds awesome, by the way.
Yeah, she's something.
She's something?
Yeah. She's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, she sounds like a good woman, man. You're a lucky guy. That all said, so 2 months, come back for some more?
Yeah, 2 months. That'd be August. That's my birthday month, and I should be ready to do issue 4. So I should have that to talk about.
Okay, so on that note, then why don't we talk about issues 1, 2, and 3? We teased about that a little bit in here. We talked a little bit of everything else too. So promote your project and promote where people can find you.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So as you've been hearing, Legacy of the View. Legacy of the View is about a high school sophomore named Chaz Johnson with the powers of creation. With that power, he's able to create items out of thin air. That lasts typically up to 1 minute, but to order to make them items, he has to know about the items. So he can make a car, but if you don't know how the engine works or anything about the car won't work. So the car will appear, but it won't move or do anything. It might be too flimsy or something like that. But since he's a high school athlete as well, so he knows like about the baseball bat. So he can create a baseball bat and it'd be sturdy, solid. Everything needs to be happening is the baseball bat be correct. So he can make that because he's familiar with it. So with his powers, he has to defeat the forces named the Howl. And that's the villain group in the story. And they can take over people's body and make them stronger using the adrenochrome that's in our blood system that's made through fear. So through fear, they get stronger. So they can take an average person and get them strong to peak performance or past that point like the Hulk. It all depends. But all of that, he's just a regular high school kid, just like making dance videos, playing video games, hanging out with friends and family. On top of that, he's a intern at his uncle's recording studio as a musical engineer, as I discussed before. And I use that to incorporate different artists that, I done met and fictional artists that I created in my world to be placed there. And so I use that to help people learn about different people in the music industry. Like I have artists that's signed to Lil Wayne in the first issue, so people can know about their music. Also draw non-readers of comic books to my book, and vice versa. People who are not used to that music can look them up. And I do something like that on every issue. So like on that, he's a reluctant hero. He ready to be in the studio, then or hang out with friends or something, then fighting crime. It's just, in this world, powers are more like, having guns. You have a gun in the street and you shoot somebody, the cops get on you. So in this world, powers are the same way. So villains can kill people and do what they want, but heroes can't. So he's a reluctant hero, but time and time again, he needs to do. And right now, I'm on issue 3. This right here is a story arc with 4 issues. The 4th issue will be out later this year. And right now you can catch up on issue 1 and 2. That's on my website. 3 will be on there later on this month. You get that physical and digital, along with some merchandise, posters, t-shirts, anything you want on the legacyofview.com.
Can you say that again a little slower so I can put it in there?
The legacyoftheview.com. It's the same title as the book.
Like that?
Yep.
Excellent.
And that's if you want to get the book. If you just want to follow along, just see the experience of how everything's going, you can follow me at the Legacy of the View, same thing as the website, on Facebook or Instagram, and it should come right up. Everything's formatted, easy to find.
Very, very cool. So the links are in the episode descriptions below for anyone that wants to watch and or click. And I want to thank Specks Thompson, right?
Yeah.
The creator of creators here, is as he's secretly building his empire to take us all in a great ride and journey. And Specks, I definitely congratulations on completing your first Kickstarter, and
thank you.
many more to come. And for everybody watching and listening, so I got some things. First off, I am going against Meredith Logren and Nita Lanning. We're trying to race to see to get to 250 subscribers. The loser has to be the other person, has to do a commission, an art commission for the winners. So I want to get to 250 followers on YouTube. So click the like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, Joshua Bentoresco. I'm also very close to being a Twitch affiliate, twitch.tv/justjoshingpodcast. Want to click there. My next book, stay tuned, June 15th, as I announce my next book. I've hinted at it plenty. Anyway, I'll go into it formally on that day, but that's cool. And to everybody watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. Keep making beautiful things. And I will see you guys tomorrow. 1 and